Pardon the interruption, but I'm Mike Wilbon. Zion Williamson looks to be in great shape, Tone. How's your physique these days?
I'm Tony Kornheiser. With or without Spanx? You got to tell me, with or without Spanx?
Well, you know, if you don't tell anybody and you're not flexing, you might get away with it. You might get away with some Spanx.
So Zion and Luka, who you have been very critical of for years.
Yes, both of them.
Right?
Both of them.
Both in shape, right?
Yes, fair.
Both of them in shape.
They look great. Yeah.
We'll see. Welcome to PTI, boys and girls. In today's episode, Derrick Henry fumbles, the Reeling Tigers face the Rolling Guardians, and Jeff Saturday joins us for 5 good minutes. But we begin today with the Detroit Lions going on the road to Baltimore and beating the Ravens 38-30. That's a lot of points. Jared Goff was 20 of 28 for 202 yards and a touchdown, no interceptions. And the Lions ran like crazy. David Montgomery had 151 yards and 2 touchdowns. Jahmyr Gibbs had 67 yards and 2 other touchdowns. Wilbon, you said yesterday you were rooting against Detroit. What does this victory say about the Lions?
Yeah, Tony, they look like they found their stride fairly early in the race. And it's a long season, things can happen. But listen, Tony, when you have that defense healthy, and it wasn't last year, they lost almost everybody important to the defense. They lost them all before Thanksgiving, and they limped into the final stretch of the season in the playoffs against the Commanders. That ain't the case now. They got these dudes out there, and they want to run the ball. They want to pound you. The score doesn't say they pounded Baltimore, but they pounded Baltimore. You show David Montgomery, look, the Bears got rid of him, and you can look at the production and say, well, the production might be the same, but there's a toughness about David Montgomery, a toughness about him that the Lions rely on, and they play well when they can flex in that way and run the ball and set up what they want to do, still trick plays, even though Ben Johnson's gone. The Lions look like they needed a moment in week 1 to say, let's just give us a minute to figure out what's going on. And they figured it out, and now it's let's go.
Yeah. There is an ebb and flow to a season. When you only have 17 games, there's a tendency to maybe make a judgment a little bit early. The Lions were beaten decisively by Green Bay in the opening game, right? 27-13. And a lot of people, including you, got on the Packers and said that looks like a Super Bowl team. And maybe threw away the Lions a little bit. I found it odd, I remember saying this on the air, that by week 2, Dan Campbell was saying this is a must-win. Really, so quickly. And that was the Bears, and they crushed the Bears. That's a division team. They crushed them. Was it 52-21?
52.
Now they beat Baltimore on the road, a perennial playoff team. They have answered all of these things. They have scored 90 points in the last 2 games. There was a Lions team that did that as recently as 1962. And they ran, you want to talk about running, 224 yards running. So they answered whatever criticism was out there. And I think when it gets time to the Wilbon power rankings in the NFC, you have to put the Lions once again in the top 3 or 4, right?
Oh, no doubt, Tony. When you go into Baltimore and you do that, yes. And again, maybe week 1, you mentioned it, and it's fair to mention it. But week 1 was wait a minute, we're starting over here with some things. We're getting our star pass rusher back after missing most of last season. We got 2 new coordinators. We got some stuff we got to figure out. Give us a moment. They took the moment, and they seem to have figured it out. Seem to have. It's early.
Very impressive. Very impressive.
It is impressive.
Yeah.
The Ravens, meanwhile, suddenly find themselves at 1-2. The defense has struggled, and Derrick Henry fumbled the ball away again last night, Tone. What do you see as the big questions the Ravens need to answer?
How much time do we have? Because there are a lot of questions out there, okay? And let's start with the lines, the offensive line and the defensive line. The offensive line did not protect yesterday. Lamar Jaxson was sacked 7 times. That's the most he's ever been sacked. The defensive line was non-existent. This is a franchise built on defense. You associate defense with the Baltimore Ravens.
Yes.
Last night, they gave up 2 drives of 95 yards or longer, 25 plays, and they could not stop the team in 25 plays. I mean, Baltimore has now given up, let me get it right, 96 points. That's the 2nd worst in the NFL. And they have their 2 best players on offense. Lamar Jaxson, he fumbled. Got it back, but he fumbled, and Derrick Henry fumbled. This is a fantastic statistic. Derrick Henry's fumbled 3 times in 43 touches this year. In 2023 and 2024, he fumbled 3 times as well in 694 touches.
Yeah.
Okay? So if we broaden this out, what have we learned? Baltimore has played 2 good teams. Buffalo and Detroit, they've lost both those games. They had leads in both those games. They lost both those games. They gave up 79 points in those games. This is not what we think of as a Super Bowl team.
No, Tony, the 79 points is the disturbing part to me. This is the franchise of Ray Lewis and Ed Reed and Tony Siragusa. This is not a franchise where people go up and down like a track meet, like the World Track and Field Championships we just been watching against the Ravens in Baltimore. It's stunning to see. They got to fix that first and foremost. And John Harbaugh talked about we had no run defense. They didn't. They had no run defense. You go 224 at home, somebody goes 224 down your throat. But let me get to something. This is going to sound sacrilegious. I hesitate to mention it because Lamar Jackson is so gifted and great, and he can beat you from the pocket. He can beat you outside of it. He can beat you with his arm. He can beat you with his legs. Tony, I wonder, looking at Lamar Jackson last night, if he's lost his burst, if he has lost his explosion. I'm talking about he got caught from behind a half dozen times last night.
Yes. Yeah.
That's not Lamar Jackson. And I'm looking at this, and I'm scared to text it. But I text people, and I was like, I don't know if I should go here, but is it possible that 7 years in with all the hits, 7+ that he's taken, he's not even 29 yet, that it's just he's lost that magical burst. He's merely a great athlete now and not otherworldly. Listen, I hope I'm wrong. I hope the question is stupid, but I'm looking at it last night going, I don't see the Lamar Jackson I've been used to seeing.
Let's dig back into the NFL trenches with our great friend, ESPN NFL analyst Jeff Saturday. We're going to talk about Derrick Henry. He's a great running back. There's no question about that. He's now fumbled 3 times already this year. He's lost 2 of them. As an offensive lineman, okay, I know you like to run the ball. Everybody in the offensive line would rather go forward than go backwards. But do doubts ever creep in, even with someone as great as Derrick Henry?
They really don't, Tony. And the truth is, what you're more concerned with is that the doubts creep in to his head. Because as an offensive lineman, you have this trust, this implicit trust in the guys that are going to run the ball. You're going to go put hat on hat. You're going to knock guys down. He's going to go make that explosive play like he made in the first quarter where he bounces it and takes it for 25 or whatever it was for a touchdown. So every time you put the ball in his hand, you're expecting an explosive play. Unfortunately, the last couple weeks, it's been disastrous, right? The one against Buffalo and then the one last night. And you can see, like, the weight on him, and you can feel how disappointed he is in himself for what's going on. But as an offensive lineman, when you got a guy like Henry, a Hall of Famer, the guy is a freight train. He's a bring-your-own blocker. You love fighting for guys like that. You want to fight with him to get through this and look back on this as you're trying to ascend to the Super Bowl at the end of the year and go, man, you remember how bad we felt after week 3 and put this thing behind you.
Now we're going to talk about your team. You played for the Colts. You coached the Colts. The Colts are now a surprising 3-0. What are you seeing that's making them successful? Nobody figured 3-0. And is it sustainable?
Well, it is sustainable. And I will tell you, Warren, the addition of Warren offensively, the tight end who they drafted, early in the draft, has been phenomenal. The first game we were there for the Jim Irsay Ring of Honor induction, I think he caught the first 4 passes that Daniel Jones threw. Shane Steichen has done a fantastic job of getting him comfortable. Jonathan Taylor is on a blazing pace. Their running back, he's running wild. Their receivers are making big plays. Daniel Jones is averaging 9 yards a completion, 72%, I think, completion rate. Like, it's absurd. But this team can do it because at every position, they're good. You know, so at some positions they're great, but they're good at almost every position, from offensive line, receivers, tight end, running back. When you have that, and Daniel Jones is executing at a high level, it is sustainable. Their defense is doing their job, keeping this thing happening. You know, the Denver thing is missed field goal, you know, penalty, all that kind of stuff. That happens in the NFL. But this team, it will be one to face come playoff time because everybody will be nervous. Daniel Jones continues to keep playing the way he is.
Playoff time. You got him in the playoffs.
Yeah,
Look at you.
that?
Absolutely.
Thanks, Jeff.
I got him as AFC South champs, baby. Let's go.
All right, okay. Wow. The winless Giants are reportedly starting rookie Jaxson Dart at home against the unbeaten Chargers on Sunday. The Giants are coming off a loss to the Chiefs, in which Wilson had a passer rating of just 43.8. The previous week, Wilson threw for 450 yards, but that was against the Cowboys defense, so everyone may have overrated it. The Giants drafted Dart 25th overall out of Ole Miss, and the fans have been chanting for him.
Tony, you can still put him in there too early and ruin him. I mean, everybody's got to be rushed in because Russell Wilson's looked ordinary at this point. They had to know that when they signed him. It's not 2013. It's not Super Bowl Russ. What did you think you were doing? Unbelievable.
He's been ordinary for
that
years.
are made.
For years. And a bonus happy trails to doing it the easy way again for Jacob Young. The Nats center fielder made this show yesterday for a remarkable catch he made against the wall on Sunday when he lost the ball, then kicked it, caught it for an out. Last night, Young added to his highlight reel, bobbling a sinking liner before shagging it with his bare hand.
That's pretty good, Tony. I was going to say, he just coordinated this stuff. Nope. He's just quick and decisive. Maybe a little lucky.
Great fielder. If only he could hit. Big finish quickly. Oklahoma State fired football coach Mike Gundy. Does that make sense?
He won 10 games a lot of times. I know he had a bad season this year, 11 out of 12 losses going back to last year, but not the whole season. You couldn't give him the whole season. Titans head coach Brian Callahan handing over play calling duties to quarterbacks coach Bo Hardegree. What does that mean?
Means Hardegree knows Cam Ward better than anybody. It's a good move. The Liberty will not renew the contract of head coach Sandy Brondello. You're surprised, aren't you?
What? She won a championship a little over a year ago. What? Baseball will officially implement the automated ball strike challenges next season. You okay with that?
Emphatically, yes. Last one, the Aces tried to even their series with the Fever at home tonight. Do you like their chances?
Yeah, they better win. They can't go 0-2 down in a 5-game series, losing the first 2 at home. No, no, no.
We're out of time. We will try to do better the next time. I'm Tony Kornheiser.
And I'm Mike Wilbon. Same time tomorrow, knuckleheads.